Welcome back to Sam Talks Nerdy. Hope you're happy, doing well, dominating life. Another One Piece saga is finally done. This one took me a while to finish. Not because I wasn't interested, just it was more poor time management. I'd be like, watching YouTube or doing something else, thinking I should really watch One Piece, and then before I know it, it is like 9 o'clock at night, and I don't want to watch One Piece because I'm afraid if I do, I won't go to bed till like midnight. I just learned One Piece isn't exactly trustworthy. It's that a website I mentioned that like has all the important episodes and arcs in order. I learned this when I found out that they added some episodes adapting a video game to Long Ring Long Land. So yeah, I wouldn't recommend One Piece anymore. Just if you want to find a list of all the non-canon arcs, just Google it. Anyways, this is my review of War 7 slash Enies Lobby. Positives, neutrals, negatives. Let's get into it. Before I begin, let me just say, I think One Piece is finally becoming peak for me. Now, don't get me wrong, some previous arcs have some really good stuff. East Blue Saga had Arlong Park. Art Basel had some really good sagas, but they also had some weak points. But with War 7 and its lobby, it was just very strong overall. So, yeah, I think One Piece, for me at least, is finally peak. All the arcs in the saga were really good. Even Ring Long Land. I try to keep saying that. But yeah, Long Ring Long Land was also a really good arc, even though it's like apparently one of the least liked arcs. I didn't have a problem with it. I thought it was a nice little break after Skypiea. And apparently Foxy was like one of the main issues with the saga, but I don't mind him. I thought he was a pretty cool villain because it was kind of cool to see him get his comeuppance. And plus, it was funny to see his like self-esteem get like snapped just like that. Or like one second he's like, then and also Cheek Cheetah. That's a cool character. I mean, it's an anthropomorphic cheetah that can turn into an actual cheetah. That's cool. But the two biggest arcs in my next positive, or 7 and Enies Lobby, just wow, what a couple of arcs. I mean, so much happened with Robin going missing, Usopp leaving to threat of CP9, the Mary coming to its end, the emotion, the storm, just it kept going and going and going, and just there was never a dull moment in these two sagas, or I'm sorry, in these two arcs. Usopp leaving was just emotionally draining. Just watch this and I'm like, oh my god, what is happening? Like Usopp is like he's angry, he's fighting Luffy, everyone's like watching devastated, and then he just leaves for a good chunk of the arc, and yeah, that was just wow. But I do have a gripe about Usopp leaving that I will get to here in a little bit. Also, does anyone else want to live in Water 7? I mean, what a place! I mean, that was a really cool little setting for this saga, and I wouldn't mind living there, despite, the storms that flood the entire city. I mean, but then again, Iceberg is going to figure out a way to have the city float, so it all worked out in the end. And of course, we're introduced to another character who became a favorite of mine, also my next positive. First, I'm not sure I would like him because, I mean, he stole Straw Hat's money and beat up Usopp. Like, I'm watching this and I'm like, what a jerk. But that quickly changed once I got to know more about him, his backstory, his personality. And yeah, he is on my list of favorite One Piece characters. Don't really know where he ranks, but he is on the list somewhere. Plus, due to Cyborg, what's not to love about that? He was also part of some of the funniest moments of the saga for me, like that, like when his crew and the Straw Hats like steal his briefs and he's running through War 7 just butt naked. Oh, yes, they call him the street. Fastest thing on 2 feet. My next positive has to go to all the side characters. I mean, there were some really cool new characters, or like I guess secondary and tertiary characters in the saga. I mean, Iceberg, the Galley Law Crew, Granny Cocodo. She just cracked me up when I was on screen. She'd just be like, just like a smile plastered on her face like 95% of the time. But not Chimney. I cannot trust her. Just she made me cringe whenever she on screen. Just her vibe was unsettling. Oh no! The Super 9 twist was another positive for me just because I did not see that coming. I mean, I knew Super 9 was going to be a threat, and of course they were the people in the masks, but I was curious as to who were these people, and then of course when it was revealed that it was Kaku, Lucci, Califa, and Bluno, the bull guy. I was like, what? No, them? I did not see that coming. Like, seriously, I did not see that coming or even expect that. I should also add that while I did love the twist, it also hurt because I liked Kaku. He was my favorite member of Galley Law. He was a cool dude, and it got sucked to find out that he was evil. Or I think he's evil. Also, I loved his fight with Zoro. Like he also has some funny moments next to Frankie where like he's in his giraffe form and he's like pasta maker because he's trying to like BS his moves, and then there's one where he's like, I don't, I don't have any blind spots because I'm a box. Yeah, some really funny moments. Aokiji was another cool addition to the cast. Literally, I can't wait to see where his character goes from here, and I already do know that he joins Whitebeard's crew. I have a bad issue with One Piece spoilers because I'd be like googling like a clip from a previous arc, and then I see, hey, spoiler for this, and I'm like, oh, I kind of wish I didn't do that or knew that. I mean, that's how I know Lucci and Kaku are back in the recent arc that's going on right now. So, I mean, yay, but also I kind of wish I was surprised by that. Of course, I had to throw in my mandatory regular chopper positive because on this page, on my Instagram page, YouTube channel, wherever, even around me, we love Tony Chopper, and I will not tolerate any bad mouthing of that sweet boy. Okay. And for my next positive, we saw some faces we haven't seen in maybe like quite a while. I mean, we saw Smoker and Tashigi, who haven't seen since Arabasta. Who else did we see? We saw Zeph, Genzo, Nojiko, Kaya, who hasn't been seen since East Blue Saga, as well as Dr. Kuroha, Dalton, and Vivi. I mean, I almost cheered when I saw Vivi. I was like, Vivi! Because, I mean, I miss her. I kind of prefer her over Robin, but not by much, but I still kind of wish she was part of the Straw Hat crew. And also, Shanks makes an appearance in a more beefy role. I think he had like an entire episode devoted to him meeting with Whitebeard, and we got a little bit of his backstory, learned that he was part of Gold Roger's crew, and I was curious about his hockey. I did YouTube it, but I was getting like more spoilers, so I might have to Google it or wait till we get further into the series to learn how his that power works. Is that power? Or is that just like, I mean, what is the hockey? Is it like some sort of like devil fruit power? Is it just something he learned? I mean, what's the deal with that? If there's any One Piece fans who are watching this, please tell me in the comments what his hockey is. I also have you a positive to Ace versus Blackbeard. Just wow, that was intense. I'm I'm hearing these attack names. I'm just like, how does Oda come up with these attack names? I'm someone who wants to write my comic book one day, and I'm curious as to how someone would come up with power names or attack names. Just I'm always curious about that kind of stuff. And a quick positive to the animation because I think now is when it's more like crisp. I think it's when they made it fully to like digital art, and I'm probably not being correct about any of this because well I'm not an artist, like obviously, but just it's here where the art's a bit more crisp. Now for my neutrals, and first one, Sanji. It's just he's very inconsistent to me. And it took me a while to now just to talk about it and kind of realize that my problem with this character. Because one moment he's badass, he's on the train kicking butt left and right, and then the next he's like, "Oh, Nami, love me, Nami, no, Nami, Nami, Nami." Like, just don't ruin the moment. My next neutral has to be the episode breaks, or the I guess breaks between the episode, or between the first half and the second half. And because they switched from the wanted posters to the telescope episode break, and that made me sad because I liked the wanted poster ones.
What is this? I don't like change!
And for my last neutral, it has to be the flashback episodes. They just felt weirdly out of place. So take the freaking ones, for example. So him and Usopp are just discovered by CP9, and then we get 3 episodes breaking down his backstory and how he becomes a cyborg. Why? Like you chose the worst time to do a 3 episode flashback. That doesn't make sense to me. It kind of kills the pacing in my mind. Now on to my negatives and to talk about my gripe I have with Usopp leaving the Mary crew for a brief time. Why did they just thoroughly explain why they couldn't save the Mary? I don't recall them even telling him what was wrong. They were just like, "Oh, hey, we're gonna get a brand new ship." Like, could you have told him why the Mary can't be saved, or maybe have someone from Galley Law get Iceberg or Kaku to come down and be like, "I'm sorry, I'm sorry, I keep saying but
Bruh.
just have Iceberg or Kaku come down and just explain why the Mary can't be saved. This all could have been avoided if they just explained this to Usopp very thoroughly. Now, this next negative is a good negative. The end of the Going Married. I knew it was coming and I was expecting it. I wasn't ready, or I figured I wouldn't care about it, but I did. It made me sad to see the Mary go because it's been the ship for 3, 4 arcs now, and now it's gone, and it really kind of bummed me out. Though I can't wait to see what they do with the Sunny. It looks like a really cool ship. And for my last negative, Spondum. Just what a terrible person. I mean, just dude was mean, rude, and crappy. I loved watching him get knocked around and beat up. About as satisfying as watching a prank YouTuber get what they deserve. Screw those channels. He also made me think of the Heath Ledger Joker for some reason. While the saga has some minor issues, it was a 10 out of 10 for me, and I cannot wait to see what comes next. And that is it for this episode of Sam Talks Nerdy. I am so glad I could finally talk about this saga because I finished it like a couple months ago, but by then X-Men 97 was wrapping up, so I had to do a video about that, and then I wanted to do some more stuff to kind of ride the X-Men hype train on the algorithm, and then it was the monthly wrap up. Then I was do my review of Fallout. So I'm finally glad I could talk about this saga, and my next review should be out here soon because I am maybe about halfway through Thriller Bark, so maybe next month or maybe the month after that will be my review of Thriller Bark, and I am getting close to the time jump, so yeah. Anyways, if you listen to the podcast, make sure to follow me on Apple Podcasts or Google Podcast. Leave me a 5-star rating and a good review where you can. If you're watching me on YouTube, make sure to comment your favorite part of Bar 7 or Enies Lobby, your thoughts on Frankie, subscribe, and until next time, stay happy, stay well, stay healthy. Don't get hit by a sea train, and I will see you or talk to you next time. Peace out.